Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all happy and healthy and doing really well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Britney Spears. I decided to do this video because obviously I've heard a lot about Britney Spears. I haven't really been that much into it myself. We all know the Free Britney movement, how she had a few mental breakdowns, but I really wanted to go and understand what her childhood was like, what her past was like that led up to where she found herself in more recent times, you know. It's clear that she did not have an easy life, even though it looked really glamorous on the outside. I do remember watching a documentary that she did. I forget what it was called or even when it came out, but something that stood out to me was those moments where she felt so lonely. And he almost wanted to reach through the screen and just give her a hug, you know. So let's go ahead and get into the story of Britney Spears and her family and what her upbringing was like. So, her full name is Britney Jean Spears, and she was born December 2nd, 1981 in Mississippi, and she's the second child of Jamie Parnell Spears and Lynn Irene Bridges. Her maternal grandmother, whose name is Lillian Bordell, was English and born in London, and one of Britney Spears' maternal great-grandfathers was Maltese. Her siblings are Brian Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears. I don't know that much about Brian, but Jamie, obviously we all know her from Zoe 101 and Sweet Magnolias. I love that show. Okay, so she was born in the Bible Belt, and she was baptized as a Southern Baptist and sang in a church choir as a child. At 3 years old, Britney was starting to attend dance lessons in her hometown of Kentwood, Louisiana, and was selected to perform as a solo artist at an annual recital. At 5 years old, she made her local stage debut singing What Child Is This? During her childhood, she also had gymnastics and voice lessons and won many state-level competitions and children's talent shows. In gymnastics, Britney attended Bella Caroli's training camp. She said of her ambition as a child, "I was in my own world." In gymnastics, Britney attended Bella Caroli's remain shocked that the state of California will let a man like my father, an alcoholic, someone who declared bankruptcy, who failed in business, who terrified me as a little girl, could control me after all my accomplishments and everything I had done. From a young age, the Spears family relied on Britney financially, and she never failed them. She says that I was so nerdy and kept all of my receipts in a bowl. I knew musicians who did drugs and got into fist fights and threw TVs out the hotel windows. Not only did I